My wife told me she was taking night classes, and I was her biggest supporter. Seriously, I was so proud of her for going back to school, chasing a dream she'd put on hold. Twice a week, she'd come home looking tired but fulfilled, clutching notebooks filled with scribbles. She'd talk about lectures, tough professors, and all the homework she had to do. I'd have dinner waiting for her, listen to her stories, and tell her how amazing she was for juggling it all. I felt like the best, most supportive husband in the world. I thought we were a team, building a better future together. One Tuesday, she seemed especially stressed. "Big exam tonight," she said, giving me a quick kiss before rushing out the door. "Wish me luck." I smiled and told her she'd ace it, like she aced everything else. I settled in for a quiet evening, maybe watch a movie, do some chores. I was just happy to give her the space she needed to focus on her studies. The house felt a little empty without her, but it was for a good cause, right? Her success was our success. I made myself some tea and started tidying up the living room, feeling content. About 2 hours later, my phone buzzed. It was an email. The subject line was, "Weird," it said. "Thank you for lending your wife to the tutoring program." I frowned. The sender's name was a professor from the local college, the one she supposedly attended. My first thought was that it was some kind of automated thank you note. But the message itself was personal. It read, "She's been very helpful." I just stared at the screen, completely baffled. Helpful? What did that mean? I thought she was the one getting the education, not giving it. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe tutoring program was just another term for a study group. Trying to be casual, I replied, "Glad she can help." "She's really enjoying your night class." I hit send, expecting a simple confirmation, something that would clear this all up. But the reply came back almost instantly, and my heart dropped straight into my stomach. He wrote, "Night class. I'm sorry, but we don't have any night classes for that subject this semester. And to be honest, I haven't seen your wife in months." Months. My hands went cold. I could feel the blood draining from my face. It was like the floor had just vanished from under me. None of it made sense. The notebooks, the late nights, the stories about her exam. Was all of it a lie? I felt a wave of nausea. I had to be sure. My hands were shaking as I typed back. "Could you please do me a favor? Could you check the official attendance system? Her name is ... I gave him her full name, praying this was all a huge, cosmic mistake. Praying for an email that said, "Oh, my apologies. I was looking at the wrong roster." The wait for his next email felt like an eternity. Each second stretched into a minute. I paced the room, my mind racing, trying to piece it all together. The cologne I'd sometimes smell on her when she got home, a scent that wasn't mine, which she'd brush off as from a classmate. The times she was too tired from studying to talk. Every little red flag I had ignored, dismissed as paranoia, suddenly came flooding back in perfect, horrifying clarity. The truth was sitting there, in 1,000 tiny pieces, and I had been too blind, too trusting to see it. Then the final ping. The professor's reply was short and to the point. He had checked the system. She wasn't enrolled in any classes this semester, not one. She hadn't been a student at that college for almost a year. The lectures, the homework, the big exam. It was all an elaborate, cruel fabrication. The entire foundation of what I thought my marriage was had crumbled in the span of 3 emails. I didn't feel anger at first, just a profound, hollow emptiness. The woman I loved, the woman I was building a life with, was a complete stranger. I sat there in the dark, the glow of the laptop screen illuminating the emails, the proof of her betrayal. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just felt. Quiet, methodical. I walked to our bedroom, opened her closet, and pulled out her suitcase. I packed her things, the notebooks from her classes, the new clothes she'd bought for school. I placed the suitcase right by the front door. I wasn't acting out of rage. I was acting out of a sudden, brutal clarity. While she was out studying, I had been studying the truth. And I had finally graduated. When she came home, just after midnight, she was smiling. That same tired but happy smile I'd grown so used to. "How was the exam?" I asked, my voice calm, almost detached. "Think you passed?" She launched into a story about a tough question, how she was so worried but thinks she did okay. She smelled of that same cologne again, stronger this time. She didn't even notice the suitcase. She didn't notice the dead look in my eyes. She just kept on with the performance. A one-woman show for an audience of one. I let her finish. Then I quietly turned my laptop around to face her. I didn't have to say a word. Her eyes scanned the emails. I watched as the color drained from her face, the fake smile melting away to reveal the liar underneath. The silence was deafening. Finally, I spoke, my voice devoid of the love I once had for her. "You failed," I said. "You failed the only exam that mattered. Honesty." Her eyes darted from the screen to me and then to the suitcase by the door. And in that moment, she finally understood. Class was dismissed. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you are not alone. And that clarity, though painful, is the first step toward healing. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories. Your support means the world. Take care of yourselves.